Hello everyone, welcome to week 2 of the Something Small prompt in the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium. It looks as if everybody had a huge amount of fun with the tea bag prompt last week, and gosh, I've seen some wonderful ideas being posted, so much fun. For anybody that's new to my channel and would like to follow along with any of our prompts, I'll leave the link to the Facebook group in the description box below, but please be aware that there is a question that you will need to answer to gain entry. I think we just ask you why you're interested in joining our group, and that's just to make sure that you're not some kind of an imposter that's come to spy on us. So, please be sure. I mean, I'd say that in jest, but, please do be sure to answer that question, because otherwise you won't be able to gain entry. Now, the prompt for this week is artist trading cards or artist trading coins. You can do either or you can do both if you want to. Now, I'm going to start off by creating a mixed media masterboard, a collage style vintage themed masterboard to make my either artist trading cards or coins out of. I haven't decided which theme I'm going with yet, and I've got a whole pile of vintage bits and pieces here on my desk. You can see that I've got some vintage ledger paper here. I've got some numerical ledger paper. I've got pieces out of a vintage music book. This is pattern paper. Alex, my son, has been busy sewing during lockdown, and I rescued this, which he was about to throw in the bin, and just thought it looked interesting and was very neutral, and thought I might be able to use that. And then I've just got various pieces of ephemera and bits and bobs. Now, this is a photocopy of an original. I've got a feeling that my friend Helen Aurelius Haddock sent me this a while ago, and this is just too precious for me to use, so I've photocopied it. The colour is quite different, but that's okay. I've got some stickers that I've had as well from eBay, I think. This is a vintage tag. This is an original here, and I just love the fact that I've got the staple in this. Just love that. And then I've just got bits and pieces that I received in my Your Creative Studio vintage box this month as well, which I thought, was good for neutrals. So that's what I'm using for my neutral backgrounds. And then I've got some colourful elements that I want to add here. So I've got a floral tea card here, just some other bits and pieces of ephemera. This was from a piece of wallpaper. I've got various stickers. This again is a photocopy of a vintage tag. If I can find it, I will show you. We go. This is just a gift tag, so I photocopied it. I mean, the colours have come out completely different. My printer is running out of ink, but that's okay. Colourful enough for me to use. And then again, I've just got various stickers that I might be able to incorporate. Another butterfly from wallpaper, and you can see the types of things I've got here. Now, I'm going to use a piece of A4 white cardstock as my substrate. I've probably got enough bits and pieces here to make 2 masterboard backgrounds, so we'll see how I get on. Now, to start off with, I'm going to just do a basic layout of my neutrals. So I've just put all of the colourful items to one side, and I'm going to try not to overthink this. I'm just going to put various bits and pieces down. I want some form of white space in this as well. So I'm just going to play and see how I get on. You see, I like the idea of having that jaggedy edge against there like that. What else have we got? We've got this butterfly piece. This again is from a piece of wallpaper. I've got various stickers and things that I can use, but as I say, it's just a case of not really overthinking it. We can maybe have that there like that. I might put this on to fast forward as well, just to stop you getting bored rigid watching me do this. Some of you might like to see how I try to put things together though. We can maybe have another piece of that ledger, that music paper over there. And you can see as well that what I'm trying to do is put some in a landscape orientation and some portrait, so that everything doesn't look the same. So we'll do that. Then I need a few more bits and pieces as well to pad everything out. I just absolutely love that little tag there, receipt, with the paper clip in it. We've got some more vintage ephemera here that I can maybe slide underneath. In fact, actually, that could go over that white space there. What else have I got? I've got this small piece of ledger paper here that could fill that little gap. And you can see that I'm not gluing anything down to start off with. This gives me the opportunity to move things around if I decide that I don't like it. So here we go, like that. I can have that little tag there perhaps, and then maybe that piece there like so, and I think I'm pretty happy with that. Now what I shall do, I shall have a look at this through the camera and see if there's anything that I want to change around. Then I shall take a photocopy of it, and then I'm just going to glue it down with a regular glue stick. I got asked a question the other day as to which glue stick I use. I use the Scotch brand just because this is really sticky and it holds everything down in place really well. It does have a tendency to be a bit gloopy, but you know, I'm okay with that. I've glued everything down now onto my background, and I did shuffle things around a little bit. I think I moved the tag into the bottom left hand corner, and that's just so that I've got 4 very obvious pieces of white space. So I've got this area here, this and this. I'm really happy with how that looks. Now I also used the other ephemera that I had on my desk as well to create another masterboard background. So this is this one here, which is a bit busier. Love them both. Now before I do any more work to these, I've decided to scan them using my phone, and I've printed them out on my printer. Now I did find as well that if I scanned them in direct daylight, I got a very different look to how I did if I scanned them on the printer. So let me just show you the difference. I mean, you can see that this one here is sort of much lighter and blue in tone, whereas this one was done on the printer and that one's come out much grayer and more vintagey, and I really like that. So I decided to take scanned images in different places so that I've got different looks, and as soon as my printers is open, I shall get them printed on laser copies down at the local printers. I've only got an inkjet printer at home, but I think the copies have come out pretty well. So what I want to do now is just add some more details to this particular background here. I've pulled out some of the colourful elements that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and I must admit I've had a play around with this already, and I've taken a photograph of it which I've got to my right hand side so that I know where things want to go. I've also decided that I'm going to use the original piece of ephemera here, this original card, because the photocopy is just a bit too muted and I just don't think it looks as nice. So I'd rather bite the bullet and use the original piece. So that one is going to go there. I've also got this piece of ephemera here, and I think that can go somewhere like that. So I'm just going to lay these out. These pieces of ephemera have come from all over the place. This is a die cut that was sent to me in Happy Mail. I can't even remember who sent it to me, so I apologise for that, but it's just absolutely perfect for this. Where did I want that one to go? Now, do I like that there or there? That actually goes really well with the red writing. I've got the butterfly, which I think I want to go here like that. Where did I want this one to go? I think I wanted that one there. I've got this sticker here that you can't really see very well at the moment, but hopefully you will once it's peeled off. Another butterfly, that's from a cigarette card. These are cigarette cards, by the way. I think I called them tea cards earlier, but they're not. They're cigarette cards. And then I thought the little clock would go there like that. I really like that layout. So I'm going to go off camera now and glue all of this down. So here's my finished masterboard background. Absolutely love this. I did make one change. I removed the sticker. It was this sticker here that I had on. It just didn't look right. I didn't like these shadows once I put it through the photocopier, so I peeled it off and I've put one of these little die cuts. I think this is a Tim Holtz die cut there instead, and I'm really happy with that. I have run it through my photocopier, so that's what it looks like, and I've also shrunk it down as well to A5 size. This is A4, which is regular letter size. I've shrunk it down by 50%, so this is A5, and I'm going to see whether I can create some artist trading cards or coins themes or even both with some of these lovely backgrounds. Now I want to keep the originals just because I just think they're great masters to keep in your stash, so I'm going to pop those to one side. Let's work on this. I've been having a play around with this background here, and I've cut out some artist trading card size pieces. So we've got this one here that's been taken from that section there, and I love the fact that I've got the border around it, so that's how that looks. I've also got this rose here, which was taken from this part here. This is in this orientation here, so we can try and do something with that. I've also got a piece with the postage stamp that was taken from this part of the masterboard here. And I've also got this, which was from the A5 copy as well, which I've done in landscape orientation. So I'm going to see what I can do with this one here as well. Now, you all know how obsessed I am with wax. I want to try some more encaustic for my artist trading cards today. I've got this book, which is a book of scripts. It's a penguin, a king penguin book. I don't know when this dates back to, does it say? But I've photocopied a few of the pages. I'm only using this for my own personal use. The revised edition is 1952, so quite old. But some wonderful, wonderful pages of script in this book, and I photocopied a few of them, which I'm going to use in my backgrounds. I've also cut some artist trading card size backgrounds from plain cardstock. So these measure 3.5 by 2.5 inches. And my plan is to glue some of these down to the artist trading cards. I've got a mixture that I've decided to photocopy. Let me just flick through some of these. I'm going to be really random about it. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to take which one comes first. I love some of these, and I'm going to apply some wax. For instance, the first one, I'm just going to apply some glue stick here like this, concentrating as usual on the edges. And this time I'm going to stick this one here down. In fact, I'll turn it over. Let's move the parchment paper out of the way, and I'm just going to stick it down like that. In fact, actually, let's have it over here so that I don't waste any of that gorgeous paper. Might need to move that down a tad. I'm going to use a bone folder then just to make sure that that's stuck down properly, and trim around the edge. And I'm going to do this with all of the backgrounds that I've got here, and let's try some different things and see what we end up with. So I've glued those script backgrounds down to 4 of the artist trading card bases, and what I'm going to do now is use my glue stick again, bring in the same piece of card. These are the 4 backgrounds that I've chosen, so I just randomly picked these, and again I'm just going to randomly pick a background to use to glue to this background as well, and then we can start having some fun with some wax and just see what happens and see if we end up with anything interesting going on. And I'll show you a couple of different methods. You do not need any expensive equipment to do. I've got 2 methods of encaustic that I want to try today. I've got my Von Chef chocolate warmer that I want to try, so I've got my wax melting in this. I've also got the iron that you've seen me use over the last few weeks whilst I've been doing the vellum papers, and I'm going to try that first. So I've got some of my R&F encaustic medium. I've got a piece of parchment paper. That's the brown paper that you can see here. This is just regular baking parchment paper. This is a scruffy old piece of deli paper as well. Of course, you've seen me glue 2 layers of backgrounds down to this artist trading card already, and I'm just going to put a few pieces of wax. Let's start off with that and see what happens. Let's try it with the iron first and see what happens. And hopefully this will go nice and transparent, and we'll start to see the layers that we've got underneath as well. And look, you can see it all coming through. That is absolutely beautiful. Now I want to try it with these 2 here, and I'm going to try this one in the same method as I did before. So I'm going to use the encaustic medium and my iron for this one here, and then I'm going to brush the encaustic on because this has nearly melted now, and we'll see if there's any difference. So bring back the iron. I've probably got too much wax on this one here, but that's okay. Just look how wonderfully translucent that's going. Absolutely gorgeous. Really happy that I've tried experimenting with these two different methods. Now this is the one that I've done using the iron, and I've just experimented as well using the Von Chef, the melting pot as well. I've had no end of trouble with this one here, but I think I've cracked it. Just look at the difference though in the look. So I've got another one of these exactly the same that I've just cut out, and this is the joy of making yourself a masterboard and photocopying it, because you know, if you make a boo-boo, you just photocopy it again and you start again. Simple as that. So I'm going to start off by putting some of the wax on top of my layer here like this, and we'll let that dry. In fact, what I shall do is take a piece of paper as well and take some of the excess wax off the top. Here we go, we've just got a piece of cheap photocopier paper here. We'll just take some of the excess wax off. So that will do fine. So that's what I'm left with. And now what I'm going to do is I've got my melting pot here. Can you see this? Let me just make sure that I'm in camera shot. You need to keep your brush in the melting pot because otherwise you just end up with globules of wax, hard wax, which is no good. So I'm just going to gently go over this like that and let that dry just in one direction. You could see that I was going in a landscape orientation. I'm now going to fuse this using my heat tool. And then I shall let that dry, and by letting it dry it will go in a kind of milky texture. So as soon as that's happened I shall come straight back. Now you can see this one is nearly dry and it's got a really milky texture, whereas this one here that I did before is really translucent. This is more opaque. So what I'm going to do now is add another layer, and I'm going to go in the opposite direction this time. So I'm going in a portrait orientation. It's not perfect. You can see I've got some streaks there, but that's okay because I'm just going to fuse this with my heat tool. This is so much fun, so therapeutic. I highly, highly recommend it. So there we go, we've melted all of that wax, and again I'm just going to let that sit and dry until it goes to a milky consistency again. So this is nearly dry now, and I'm just going to set it off to one side. That's how it looks in comparison. This is the one that I ended up going over with the iron. This has got a much thicker layer of wax. I love how that looks. It's just beautiful. So I just want to finish off my artist trading cards. Now this is the one here that I applied the thicker layer of wax using the brush to, and I'm going to park this and pop it to one side because I think I'm going to finish this one off at a later date. I just love how that looks, but for the artist trading cards I do prefer the method of applying the wax using the iron and giving it a much thinner layer. So I've got these 5 here, and I've pulled out some further embellishments as well. Now I've got a die cut here. This is similar to the Tim Holtz die cuts, and it had a white border which I've cut most of it off, but I have applied wax to this as well just to make it more translucent and more vintagey. So that one's going to go there. I've got a little green butterfly here which I can add to that one there. In fact, actually, do I want that one to go there and maybe that one there? Yep, I think that's perfect. And I've got one of these stickers from the Your Creative studio set as well, and this one here I just want to leave it exactly as it is. So I'm going to stick these down and then I'll add some kind of a border. Now I do want to outline these, and I've got one of the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s, and this is burnt umber, raw umber. Here we go. So I'm just going to add some of this around the side, and then I shall melt this with my iron or heat tool as well, just to blend it into the wax that's already there. I think this will add a really nice touch. So let's just do this one here so that you can see what I'm doing. Really like how that that looks. I'll do it on the back as well, and you can see that I've added that book page to the back of all of these, a different page to each one. So we'll just add some of that wax. And then I'm just going to melt that with my heat tool, just to blend it into the wax. I'm just adding some final touches to this here. I've got a bright pink gel pen here and a piece of paper here, which I'm just rubbing it out on. And I'm just adding some colour to the sticker that I've stuck down, just to brighten everything up just a little bit. And so I'm going to go all over this like so. Doesn't that make a big difference? That's just gorgeous. So these are my finished artist trading cards. I love these so much. The backs are gorgeous as well. I've just got an obsession with wax at the moment. I just find it such a beautiful media to work with. I just love the look that it gives. These are gorgeous. So let me show you all of these and the backs as well. So that's that one there. We've got this one here. I haven't had any time to do any artist trading coins, which I'd hoped to do, but I've run out of time. This is the one that you saw me do a few minutes ago as well, which I've added the neon pen to. I love how that looks. And of course I've got these gorgeous backgrounds as well that I can do other things with. I've got so many ideas as to how I can use these, but you know, as usual, I've run out of time, so I'm calling it a day for this week. Now, I hope you've enjoyed the ideas that I've shared in the video this week, and if you did, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to go and check out Kylie's video as well and see what she's been up to for this week's challenge. But, you know, as always, take care everyone, stay safe, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.